The National Union of Mineworkers is briefing the media on what it says will be the way forward with regard to the proposed business model announced by President Cyril Ramaphosa during the State of the Nation address.
President Ramaphosa announced that government is planning to split up Eskom into three entities, namely generation, transmission and distribution. Let's now cross their line.
This Mali failed to deliver on its mandate. The President also passed a vote of no confidence to the board by appointing a parallel board in the form of an Eskom energy tax team. The board must be reflective of all sectors of the society that benefits from Eskom, inclusive of trade unions and the society. The current board must be replaced for basically undermining the fiduciary duties as mandated by the Eskom Act of 2001. We call upon the President to simply disband this incompetent board. Eskom can be saved by reversing all decisions that have potentially crippling its balance sheet, such as one, the coal shortage from coal plus mines contributes to load shedding. The mines are failing to meet Eskom stock requirement while hiding behind the investment in their operations. They have now resorted to delivering substandard coal with damages. The boilers, while quality coal is reserved from lucrative overseas market. The shortage of coal is compounded by exploitation of black emerging miners whose contract has been idling, as well as the non-performance of the target mining resources. All these mines must transfer to the ownership of the state to the benefit of South Africans. OCGT, the usage of diesel plant, cost Eskom billions of rands. Just on Monday, Eskom banned diesel for 6 hours at a cost of 2 million. The money is meant for plant maintenance and refurbishment should be used for that purpose only. IPPs, we have warned government and Eskom that the cost of IPPs will cripple Eskom balance sheet. Our restraint was informed by the financial statement that reflected a billioning cost of expenditure on the electricity purchase. IPPs and also present a clear risk of privatizing profits while socializing cost of renewable IPPs. Scrap the power purchase agreement. Kenya has successfully cancelled the PPA, which represent IPPs in South Africa. They had a political will to save their energy company. Unbundling of Eskom will be an expensive exercise which will push Eskom further into debts. Eskom should remain a vertical integrated unit. General election is May. We would like to advise the ANC as a ruling party to desist from taking people's vote for granted. The election season is upon us once again, and we are observing it, that political leaders are failing their mandate to take care of the masses, in particular the poor working class. We continue to vote for them. South Africans are continuing to put their trust in the ANC because they believe that it is the only political party that can improve the lives of unshapely leaders are enriching themselves. The decision by the government to impose independent power producers on Eskom is going to cost the ANC dearly. If the IPPs is really about clean energy, Eskom must be allowed to produce such clean energy for the people. South Africans want, in less than a decade after the full implementation of IPP's policy, access to electricity will be for the chosen few only, those with deep pockets. This is a call for the African National Congress to take the electorate along as it moves the country forward. If the ANC proceeds with the unbundling of Eskom without taking all stakeholders along, it is going to cost the party dearly. Finally, violence and killings at Sibanye operations. The NUM is dismayed and highly angered by the continued intimidation and killings of our members at Sibanye gold mine operation. We condemn those killings, particularly at Sibanye Beatrix mine that happened on Tuesday, which is yesterday. NUM sent its deepest condolences to the family, colleagues and friends and the deceased comrades. Non-payment of Optimum and Kuurfontein workers. Once again, we call on the government to immediate and intervene to make sure that workers at Optimum, Koorfontein and Colemans are paid their salaries with immediate effect. Workers have entered fourth month without being paid their salaries. That is the end of our...
Thank you once again, colleagues. We have been joined by the General Secretary of NUM, David Sipwinsi, and also the Deputy General Secretary, William Mabapa, and the Deputy President, Philip Vidagas. So you are most welcome to interrogate them on the statement. Maybe perhaps we can start by taking 3 questions.
Yes.
1, 2, 3. You can start.
It's Diablo from SABC News. I just need 2 clarifications on what you have stated on your press briefing. Firstly, on the issue of Matimba and Kusile, you say that it has broken down. You have received reports that it has broken down. We just need confirmation of that and how that impacts on the current load shedding that we are already seeing. You also talk about how the Minister President Gordon appointed a firm to bring Italian engineers to fix Eskom power plants. Which company is this, and what proof do you have of this?
Hi, I'm Alex Wenning from Reuters News Agency. The first question is about the section where you have general elections in May. Are you saying to the ANC that if they proceed with this, you will encourage your members not to vote ANC? Or if you could just elaborate a bit on that. And the second point I'll ask later.
Okay,
thank you very much. How are you, James? I see you're very angry when you arrived. Is there any apparent issue why you were so aggrieved that the briefing started without your presence? I remember
it's the load shedding thing.
But more pertinent issues. Is there any saying if your founding General Secretary, now is the PCC as the President of the country, goes ahead and implements IPPs, you will withdraw the NUN's support for him and for the ANC for these coming general elections in May? And lastly, when it comes to the issues of Eskom, were you not consulted by your governing party and the ANC when it comes to the issue of unbundling Eskom? And could you take us into your confidence on what your meeting on Monday with the Secretary General of the ANC, Ace Magashule, what did that meeting entail? What was discussed? And what was the outcome of the meeting when it comes to the issue of unbundling and the IPPs? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Sampere. I think you can check the answers there.
Yeah, I will take one answer concerning Kusile and Matimba, where there's a breakdown of the operation. It is clear, according to what we have written here, that the money that was put aside for maintenance of plants has not been used for that maintenance of plants. Therefore, there's a backlog of ineffective machinery on the ground. One other issue is that the engineers themselves have been suspended, 9 of engineers at Eskom. Eskom showed skills that can identify problems of Eskom. But the most problematic thing is that the machines are old, they need to be maintained, be replaced, but the money that was put aside to do that has not been used for the same purpose. That's why, and this has added to load shedding.
Can I just add in terms, but first let me correct, it's Midupi, not Matimba. Our apologies. It's Midupi. The challenges of Midupi and Kusile are well known in the country. And our members on the ground have confirmed
that there is serious poor workmanship. They have also confirmed that there was poor planning from the management team. The unit itself, specifically the boiler tubes, the boiler tubes could not handle the steam that is coming. It is leaking. So therefore, when it leaks, you have to shut that unit down and repair the leaks. So the engineers, the welders that were brought into South Africa to come and do that specialized welding didn't do a perfect job. That is why today we are in these problems. So basically, the attempt by Pravin will not help the situation because, again, it is put into the hands of people who are running IPPs, that those people should be the one that save Eskom. It cannot happen that your competitor comes out and help you. And we are saying that management is for managers. Managers must account to the board. We don't want interference of politicians into running the company.
Yeah. Okay. Let me venture into the juicy one that I think you like very much. The issue of elections. Yeah. Remember, the National Union of Mineworkers has a long-standing resolution to support the ANC. It's a Congress decision. However, it's not a blank check. If our members are down there grumbling, we may be compelled, having followed our constitutional provisions, we may be compelled to call a special National Congress just to deal with that item. Remember, we spend a lot of money campaigning for the ANC, millions in fact. Now, as the leaders, we cannot ignore the cry of the members that say, if the ANC is doing this thing to us, why should we continue with our support for the ANC? Personally, I don't believe that we have reached the stage that we need to do to the ANC what the National Party did to us, because that's what Madiba said to us. If the ANC does to you what the National Party did to you, do to the ANC what you did to the National Party. We are not here at that. But we can no longer guarantee, and we are not in a position to say without fear that NUM members are definitely going to vote for ANC. They are grumbling. There are job losses. And on the issue of being consulted on the issue on unbundling of Eskom, there was absolutely no consultation on that. We were ignored. We were taken by shock when the president announced that in his SONA. There will be unbundling of Eskom, as though we are not a stakeholder at Eskom. Now, we barged into Litule House last week as the National Office bearers to ask, what is this that we have seen on TV? The president saw it live. He was in Parliament. And we believe that the ANC is continuing lying to us, saying that this unbundling is not going to result in job losses. Yet the people who want to put money into Eskom say, if you don't reduce your workforce, we don't give you money. And the ANC knows that, and they are hiding it from us. We are taken for a ride here, and we cannot tolerate that. Our members are angry out there.
Can we respond to the other issues? Yeah, I think there is a question that Samkela raised, that what was the discussion between ourselves as the National Office bearers of NUM with the Secretary General of the ANC. Let me first confirm that we met with the national office bearers of the ANC, not with the General Secretary alone. So whatever we discussed with the national office bearers of ANC as the national office bearers of the NUM. So I want just to put that to a note that it was not only. So was we understand that may go out to say, I started to just think aloud to say, that may start to say, maybe we had a meeting that when we talk with the General Secretary, there is a different view. When the President is either doing different views. Almost the national office bearers of ANC were there in that meeting, and the national office bearers of NUM were there in the meeting. So, yes, we had a discussion when the GS said that they promised us that there won't be retrenchment, there won't be privatization. That is also what the ANC is saying. But there are many information that, like the GSS alluded, that make us to be suspicious. But that was not the end of that meeting. We have agreed that we are going to meet again and understand deeper. But what is interesting is that when we wanted some more information, you can see that even the leadership of the ANC, some of them, they don't understand deeply how this issue is also managed. For example, we ask a question and say, how do you buy IPPs with 2 rand something and Eskom sell with 80 cents and Eskom can produce that with less than 80 cents? Then how do you make profit? How can the company make profit under that circumstances? And those are the issues that we were then promised that the Minister of Energy and Pravin Gordhan will form part of the engagement so that they must thoroughly respond to those issues. And we are eager that that meeting must be as early as 1 o'clock today, if possible.
In fact, yes, that meeting is scheduled for Monday, 2 o'clock at St. George, where we demanded to meet with Jeff Hadebe and excuse me, and Pravin Gordhan, so that they can explain to us this issue of Eskom. Yeah, the meeting is scheduled for Monday.
Okay.
Is it Monday today? Oh, I was on holiday yesterday.
There was a second question which we didn't respond to.
So the meeting is happening when?
On Monday. Yes.
I asked about the Italian engineers that I'm pointed to in the statement that were appointed by government to fix Eskom. I want to know who those are. And secondly, I want to find out the official response to what the Minister of Public Enterprise said yesterday about the finances of Eskom.
Well, one of the 3 active unions at Eskom, the National Union of Mineworkers, giving their response to President Cyril Ramaphosa's State of the Nation address, especially that part about unbundling Eskom, and saying that they were caught by surprise. But unions have been decrying the fact, saying this is part of the first steps towards privatizing Eskom. We'll continue to follow that story.